सुनाते ओले पड़े। ये कहावत ब्रिटेन के प्रधानमंत्री ऋषि सुनक पर सटीक बैठती है, क्योंकि पहले ही दुख इतने थे कि सरकार बनते ही दुखों का अंबार लग गया है। 42 साल के भारतवंशी ऋषि सुनक ब्रिटेन के नए प्रधानमंत्री बन गए, लेकिन लोग कह रहे हैं कि कांटों का ताज है, क्योंकि अर्थव्यवस्था डावाडोल है और बिजली की समस्या चरम पर। इसी बीच लिज ट्रस्ट जिन फैसलों की वजह से बदनाम हुई, उन्हीं फैसलों को लेकर विपक्ष अब सुनक को घेरने लगा। सुएला के बयान से भारत पहले से ही नाराज था, जिसके दबाव में सुएला ने इस्तीफा दे दिया था। लेकिन लिज के फैसले को पलटते हुए सुनक ने जब सत्ता की कमान ली, तो फिर से सुएला को गृह मंत्रालय देकर आ बैल मुझे मार वाली स्थिति में लाकर खड़ा कर लिया। अब इसी बात को लेकर विपक्ष हमलावर है और विपक्ष का कहना है कि सुनक ने ब्रेवरमैन को मंत्री बनाकर अपनी जिंदगी की सबसे बड़ी गलती की है। विपक्ष के नेता और लेबर पार्टी के सांसद यवेटेक कूपर ने रविवार को सुनक के गैर जिम्मेदाराना फैसले के लिए फटकार लगाई और कहा कि पीएम का ये फैसला एक बार फिर से देश की राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के लिए खतरा बन सकता है। कूपर ने और क्या कुछ कहा, आप सुनिए।
Questions are about security breaches and the protection of our national security. They are questions to the Home Secretary, who was here just 5 minutes ago and who left. Yesterday, the Prime Minister promised integrity, professionalism and accountability. Yet they've discarded the ministerial code, reappointed someone who breached core professional standards and has now run away from basic accountability to this House. It is the same old Tory chaos and it is letting the country down. So I have questions for the Home Secretary that the government needs to answer. The Home Secretary accepted she sent an official document via her personal email to someone who was not authorised to see it. Is this the only time she has done this? Or has she shared other documents or other sensitive information? The Home Secretary is responsible for national security. So, has the Home Office, Cabinet Office or Security Service now undertaken an investigation into her security breaches to see how many others there have been? And can I urge him to make sure that happens urgently? What security clearance has the Home Secretary been given? Does she still have access to the most sensitive documents and information? And did the Cabinet Secretary warn against her reappointment?
तो सुना आपने कूपर कैसे घेर रही हैं सुनक को और कह रही हैं कि 6 दिन पहले जिस मंत्री ने सुरक्षा चूक पर मंत्री स्तरीय संहिता का उल्लंघन किया हो, उसे मंत्री बनाकर सुनक ने सबसे गलत फैसला लिया। इस तरह के हालातों के बीच राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा भी अहम है और उसे नजरअंदाज नहीं करना चाहिए। ब्रेवरमैन ने अपने निजी ईमेल से सुरक्षित जानकारी भेजकर मंत्री पद संबंधी संहिता के उल्लंघन के मामले में ये कदम उठाया था। प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में अपने पहले दिन पर सुनक ने नए मंत्रिमंडल के साथ बैठक की थी। उसके बाद उनका सामना हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स में प्रधानमंत्री से प्रश्न सत्र में विपक्ष के नेता कीर स्टारमर से हुआ। लेबर पार्टी के नेता कीर स्टारमर ने शुरुआत में सुनक का स्वागत किया और कहा कि ये इस बात की ताकीद है कि ब्रिटेन ऐसी जगह है जहां सभी जातियों और आस्थाओं के लोग अपने सपने पूरे कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद स्टारमर ने सुनक से पूछा, क्या गृह मंत्री ने पिछले हफ्ते सुरक्षा उल्लंघन के मामले में इस्तीफा देकर सही किया था?
Because he was scared to lose another leadership election. There's a new Tory at the top, but as always with them, party first, country second. Yesterday, on the steps of Downing Street, he also admitted what the whole country knows. The Tories have crashed the economy and now somebody has to pay for their mess. I say it shouldn't be working people who've been hammered time and again by this lot, but those with the broadest shoulders must step up. Does he agree?
Well, Mr. Speaker, the honourable gentleman talked about party first and country second. Perhaps he could explain to us why it was a few years ago he was supporting the member for Islington North. Mr. Speaker, my record is clear. When times are difficult in this country, I will always protect the most vulnerable. That is the values of our compassionate party. We did it in COVID and we will do that again.
Mr. Speaker, he says he'll protect the most vulnerable. Let's test that. The government currently allows very rich people to live here but register abroad for tax purposes. I don't need to explain to the Prime Minister how non-dom status works. He already knows all about that. It costs the Treasury £3.2 billion every year. Why doesn't he put his money where his mouth is and get rid of it?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I have been honest. We will have to take difficult decisions to restore economic stability and confidence. And my honourable friend, the Chancellor, will set that out in an autumn statement in just a few weeks. But what I can say, as we did during COVID, we will always protect the most vulnerable. We will do this in a fair way. But what I can say, I am glad, Mr. Speaker, that the party opposite, honourable gentleman, has finally realised that spending does need to be paid for. It is a novel concept for the party opposite. This government is going to restore economic stability and we will do it in a fair and compassionate way.
I know he's been away for a few weeks, but he should have listened to what's been going on the last 2. But anyway, I have to say, I'm surprised he's still defending non-dom status. He pretends he's on the side of working people, but in private he says something very different. Over the summer, he was secretly recorded at a garden party in Tunbridge Wells, boasting to a group of Tory members that he personally moved money away from deprived areas to wealthy places instead. Rather than apologise or pretend that he meant something else, why doesn't he now do the right thing and undo the changes that he made to those funding formulas?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I know the right honourable gentleman rarely leaves North London. But if he does, he will know that there are deprived areas in our rural communities, in our coastal communities, and across the south, and this government will relentlessly support them because we are a government that will deliver for people across the United Kingdom. But Mr. Speaker, he mentioned the last few weeks. I am the first to admit that mistakes were made, and that's the reason I am standing here. But that is the difference between him and me. This summer, I was being honest about the difficulties that we were facing. But when he ran for leader, he promised his party he would borrow billions and billions of pounds. I told the truth for the good of the country. He told his party what it wanted to hear. Leadership is not selling fairy tales. It is confronting challenges, and that is the leadership the British people will get from this government.
तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि क्या हो रहा है। इसके साथ ही साथ सुनक ने ईमानदारी, पेशेवर क्षमता और जवाबदेही के साथ सरकार चलाने का वादा किया, लेकिन उन्होंने गृह मंत्रालय उस महिला को दे दिया जिसे केवल 1 सप्ताह पहले ही पद छोड़ने को मजबूर होना पड़ा। तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि क्या हो रहा है, दबाव बढ़ता जा रहा है। देखना होगा कि आगे क्या होता है, लेकिन सुएला को लेकर सुनक फंस गए।